Push-pull legs. The push-pull leg split is all about organizing your workouts based on movement patterns. Instead of just randomly grouping muscles, it divides training into three categories. You got your pushing movements, pulling movements, and leg focus movements. This makes training really efficient and helps you recover faster. And most importantly, it's really simple. The push day focuses on exercises that push the weight away from your body, obviously, which means your chest, shoulders, and triceps. So this will mainly include various chest and shoulder presses, and a lot of different isolation exercises. For the chest, that would be some type of fly. For the shoulders, that would be the side delt isolation, but not the rear delt isolation. But more on that in a second. And for the triceps, that includes lateral and long head isolation. All of these muscles naturally work together during pressing movements, so training them in the same session makes a lot of sense, and is a big reason behind why you can recover so well in the push-pull leg split. Because once you are done with the push day, for example, and you go do your pull day, all the pushing muscles can still be resting and recovering, because you are not directly training them in any of the other days. And talking about the pull day, this is what you need to know. Pull day targets the muscles responsible for pulling the weight towards your body, which means the back and the biceps. But also the rear delts, which are not a part of the push days. You really need to keep that in mind. I know that it sounds a little illogical when the push day already trains shoulders, but it has its reasons. The rear delts perfectly fit into a pull day because they are already getting hit when you train the back. So it would make no sense to train rear delts on your push days when they would get hit again on your pull days. That would kind of ruin the whole push-pull leg scheme that allows you to recover so well. These are the typical exercises you would use in a pull day. For the back, that is some variation of the pull-up or lat pull-down, and a rowing exercise of your choice. Then of course you got the rear delts. Here I would recommend exercises like the rear delt fly, reverse pec deck, or the face pull. And the last piece of the pull day is biceps. Here you can really choose from a lot of exercises, but the main two exercises to include would be either the barbell, easy bar, or the dumbbell curl. And then one type of curl to target the brachialis and brachioradialis, which could be the hammer curl or any curl with the overhand grip. Now for the leg day. Here your goal is to obviously target the quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. For the quads, the most used exercise is the squats, together with leg extensions. That is the classic combo. For the hamstrings, you need a hip hinge exercise, so something like the Romanian deadlift is perfect. Plus you combine this with the hamstring curl. That is the hamstring foundation. For the glutes, you don't necessarily need to add anything if you don't want to, as doing full range of motion squats and some of the hip hinge exercises will hit your glutes a good amount. But if you really want to focus on your glutes, the hip thrust is a great choice in the place of a hip hinge exercise. And if you wanted, you could then add a glute isolation exercise like the glute kickbacks, for example. And for calves, it's super simple. You just pick any variation of the calf raise that you like. The leg day might be the most physically demanding day of them all, just because the lower body compound lifts are really taxing. So it's good to be mindful when constructing your routine so you don't completely nuke yourself. To make sure that doesn't happen, you could grab the push-pull legs on my website, which over the years has been crafted to perfection. Just read some of the reviews and I'm sure you will like it. You can click the first link below to learn more. The push-pull leg split is also very flexible, where you have just 3 different workouts that you can pretty much schedule however you want. But that is also kind of its problem, as running only these 3 workouts per week will not allow you to hit each body part twice per week, which is the sweet spot you really want to be in to build the most muscle possible. That's why the most popular variation of the push-pull legs is 6 days a week, where you get to hit this 3-day cycle twice per week. But you know how it is, not everyone can or should work out 6 days a week. So there can definitely be made some modifications that will make you hit each body part twice per week in just 4 or 5 days instead of 6, like I do in my push-pull legs, for example. Alright, that should be all you need to know about the push-pull leg split. Full body. The full body training split is really as simple as it gets. You don't really have to think about the way you are going to separate muscle groups across different days, you just kinda do everything. But that is also kind of the problem for most people. It really gives you this overwhelming feeling. So while it might seem rather straightforward to build your own full body training plan, you quickly come to a realization that it's really difficult to fit all the exercises into your plan without it taking 4 hours. The secret sauce to making the full body split manageable time-wise is to utilize the main exercises, as I like to call them. These are the classic compound lifts that you know very well, like the bench press, overhead press, squat, etc. But when I talk about the main lifts, I don't mean just the classic compound lifts. I also mean exercises like the barbell curl or the cable crunch. You really want to focus on the most impactful exercises and just cut out the fluff, because time efficiency is really important when it comes to the full body training split. One of the biggest advantages of full body is something that was problematic for the push-pull leg split. When doing full body, you can easily train just 3 days a week because you hit all the body parts in each workout. So the requirement of hitting each body part twice per week is very easily achievable. And if you wanted to work out just twice per week, this is definitely the best option. Plus, the full body split can be very beneficial for beginners because when you strip it down just to a couple of main lifts, it provides the exact environment you need to learn all the basic exercises without any distractions. And if you are worried about the recovery aspect because you hit all the body parts in each workout, you don't have to be. As with the right programming, you will feel more than ready for each workout no matter how many times per week you train full body. And you already know where to find a plan like that. Arnold split. The Arnold split is a certified old-school bodybuilding classic, popularized by the GOAT Arnold himself. It is designed to really bring out the best out of your upper body, because your chest and your shoulders are never trained on the same day. And you probably know how fried your shoulders or chest can feel if you train both of them in the same workout. It really just beats you up. But because the Arnold split is separated into these 3 days, everything has a complete freedom to breathe. Because the thing is, chest and shoulders overlap with each other, and back and biceps do the same exact thing, where they are both taxing the same exact area that is being used by both of the body parts. So in the case of chest and shoulders, your shoulders really get completely fried. And in the case of back and biceps, the biceps gets put on a complete back burner, because all the back exercises tax your biceps a whole lot. So by the time you get to actually training the biceps itself, it's already pretty fatigued. But when you look at the Arnold split layout, you can see that both of these combinations are never trained on the same day. So you can really give it your best and transform into a beast. That is the main reason why this is my favorite split of all time. The layout is just so amazing. But the Arnold split has a similar problem to the push-pull legs, where to hit each body part twice per week, you need to run this 3-day layout twice per week, ending up with 6 workouts per week. But thankfully, it's really easy to modify the Arnold split even into like a 4-day routine, without making it any worse than the 6-day version. And that's pretty much the only issue with the Arnold split in my opinion, which is easily solvable. So I really can't recommend this split enough, it's just great. Upper-lower. The upper-lower split, as the name implies, is a training split that divides your workouts into 2. In one workout, you only hit the upper body, and in the other, you only hit the lower body. If you don't like mixing upper body training with legs, then this should be for sure something you should look into. Plus, this setup really makes it almost foolproof, as it is really hard to mess up such a simple setup, because no matter how little experience you have, you know which part of your body is upper and which is lower. To hit each body part twice per week, you should ideally run the upper-lower split 4 times a week. There are some modifications that allow you to do less or more, but 4 days per week is really the sweet spot for the upper-lower split. Really, the only thing that is not so great about the upper-lower split is that the upper days take a longer time to complete than the lower body days. But a good trick to solve this is to put all the extra stuff like ab or forearm training at the end of the lower body days, which will then make both of the upper and lower days roughly the same length. Overall, the upper-lower split can be a great choice, especially if you like working out exactly 4 days per week. That's where it really shines. But if you are someone who likes to work out 6 times a week, I would not really recommend this one. Because when the upper-lower layout gets spread across so many days, the workouts become very short, especially the lower days. And I think the biggest problem with going to the gym isn't actually training there, it's getting there. You know how it is, when you sit at home you don't really want to go to the gym, but once you get there, everything is great. Bro split. The bro split, or in other words, the body part split, is a training style where you basically dedicate each workout to a single body part. Which sounds pretty sick, but there is a lot of problems with this. If you train just one body part per workout, it will take you a very long time before you get to train it again. You know, there is a lot of body parts. And for example, training your chest just once per week is simply not enough. The chest was most likely fully recovered like 48 hours after the workout, but because of how the bro split is laid out, you can't hit it again when it's ready. So you just end up wasting a lot of growth time in the long run. Don't get me wrong, dedicating one workout to a single body part can feel absolutely amazing. Just imagine a workout where you only hit arms. Sounds like a dream. But because of what I outlined earlier, this is not really usable if you are serious about getting jacked. Which then makes you think how you could adjust the bro split to be usable. But the issue is that after all the adjustments you make, you end up with a completely different split. I know this very well because this is the exact thought process I went through in the past. So it's just better to stay away from the bro split because the problems it has are very much unfixable. And if you really like that workout day where you only train that one specific body part, just create a designated day for that body part and slide it into your existing training plan. That can be a good way of improving the body part that is lacking the most in your physique, or that you would just like to improve even more. And that's every training split explained. If you would like to try any of them, except the bro split because we know how that goes, click the first link below and check it out. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. If you like this video, then you will surely like this one too.